Hey guys, and welcome to Glorious Day Adventures. So today we're going to do a review on SetPower's new RF20. It's a brand new refrigerator, freezer, one compartment, one zone. It's an all black refrigerator freezer, which is SetPower's first all black unit. And we're going to add it to the rest of our SetPower family of 12-volt refrigerator freezers. So the RF20 is a 20-liter refrigerator or freezer, and there's a big brother, which is the RF25, which is a 25-liter refrigerator or freezer. Really like this one. It's compact, so it really fits in tight spaces. 21 liters seems to be a good sweet spot for like day trips or small, like overnight kind of trips. SetPower did actually develop their own compressor for this refrigerator freezer. High performance compressor. They weren't happy with what they saw on the market, so apparently they developed their own, which is pretty cool. And it does have tie down points, and we like kind of going off grid, sometimes on some rough roads. So having these tie down points will be really helpful so that when we're hitting rough roads, the refrigerator's not bouncing around the back of my truck and going all over the place. As I mentioned, it is a 12-volt unit, but SetPower does include a transformer and an adapter, so you can plug it into a 110-volt outlet. We do have a 110-volt outlet in my truck, so if this was like in the back seat or back area of my pickup truck, we would be using that to power the SetPower fridge. So as I sit here, the controls are way over here on the far side of the refrigerator freezer, but they don't have to be, right? So this top actually is reversible, so I could take this top off, swing it on this side. So depending on which side you want your controls on, you just move your top to one side or the other, and that way the controls are on the side that's most beneficial for you. So we've not done that yet. We just took it out of the box. So they're over here on the far side, and it is one large compartment, and it's deeper than most of the refrigerator freezers we've seen kind of in this capacity. So I don't know if it has something to do with the way they built the compressor, but it just seems like there's more space, even though, from the specs, it's 21 liters or 20 liters, sorry. Something kind of cool they did was there's a divider, right? So maybe you want food on one side and drinks on the other. So there's a divider so you can do that, but rather than just putting a piece of plastic in there and having a divider, SetPower said, hey, what if we actually made it a container that you can fill with water and freeze? And you may be thinking, well, why would you do that, right? I've got a freezer, I've got a refrigerator. Why do I need something with ice in it? But you may run out of power. So right now we're powering this with our little Jackery 240. It's like the smallest little battery bank you can get. And it's not gonna last forever. We can get a number of hours out of it, but at some point that battery may die. So having this inside the refrigerator freezer with ice in here, if it was a freezer, if I do lose power, I've got a source that will keep this refrigerator colder for longer. So kind of clever to give you a divider that also acts as another way to keep the refrigerator cold. And it does come with an app. So when you get it, there was a QR code up here that we scanned, and as soon as we did that, we just took the sticker off because we like a nice all black cooler and didn't want a sticker on there. But the app does give you lots of different controls. So, and again, if the truck was driving down the road and this was in the bed of my truck, we have a cap on the truck. If this is way back in the bed of my truck, with the app, we can control the fridge. We know with confidence what the temperature is. We can turn it on and off. It just gives us some assurance that, on a long trip, if it's in the way back of the truck, it's running right and we know what the temperature is. So it's good to have an app and control this thing wirelessly. So with that, I'm going to power up the phone and we'll take a look at the app. All right, got the app open, and it's super simple, super intuitive. There's only a few buttons that allow you to control all the things you need to control. So right now the fridge is off. I'm going to turn it on, and it's currently 57 degrees in the fridge. We just turned it on a few minutes ago, and it's already cooling down pretty quickly. And with this slider, you can actually determine what temperature you want the fridge to be. So in this case, I want it to be 34 degrees, and you can see it flashing at you, and it'll cool down to 34 degrees. Another way you can do this is the second button over is the refrigeration mode. So if you click that, right now it's in refrigeration, but you can see that snowflake above it. If I wanted to put it in freezer mode without messing with that slider, you can just hit that little snowflake and all of a sudden it's in freezer mode. You can see it's 0 degrees, and then same thing going back to refrigeration mode. And then there is a max and an eco mode. So typically when we get ready to go, we'll either pre-cool it at the house using 110 volt current. But if we don't do that, we'll put it in max mode as we leave the house. And then once it's cooled down to the point we want it to be at, we'll put it in eco mode so it requires less power. But you can just do that, again, by hitting that button. Super simple to do. And there's more settings, which I don't know what they are. And so I'm not going to push the button because it's going to be a big surprise for all of us. So in terms of the temperature for the fridge freeze, from terms of Fahrenheit, if you're watching this in Canada and you're Celsius, we're Fahrenheit here in the US, but for Fahrenheit, it goes from 0 degrees to 68 degrees. So I'm not sure why you'd want something at 68 degrees, but maybe you want to keep it cool and not cold. So yeah, 0 to 68 degrees. And you can see, I think we were at 57 degrees when we started the video, and we're at 55, so the temperature is already dropping. So really cool to have the app, super simple to use, and again, just gives us some assurance that we know the fridge is working at that temp when it's not like close to us. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the review. First impressions of the RF20 is that it is a really good, high quality refrigerator or freezer. Just like our other two SetPowers, they've been reliable. We've had them for a while and they've worked great. So SetPower, again, thank you for sending this to RF20. Thank you for adding the tie down points on the side. I think we're gonna really appreciate that as we're going down bumpy roads. And if you're looking at SetPower, what you're going to find is that it's a high quality product, but it's budget friendly. And again, we've been really happy with the two SetPowers we have. So hope you enjoyed watching, and come join us on our next adventure.